think Cameron, as a redirect to you then, things like chapel seem to be requirements. Contract obviously is a set of requirements. How would you comment on requirements in that sense as it relates to community service?
I think that chapel is, the university has that as a requirement because they bring in speakers to talk on specific topics, different aspects of Christianity, of our faith, and I think that is a completely different aspect than going out into the community and serving. I think that it's part of education in the sense at Biola's education with academics as well as spiritual, and so I agree with that, and I think that those are two different things. I don't think that they are similar in the sense of the chapel requirement, as well as, the community standards requirement. I think that first and foremost, students want answers to why and specifics as to why they are set up, and I think that having healthy dialogue, there are great answers that the administration has for why we have the community standards and the specifics in those, but I think students just get frustrated with them not being given those specific answers, and I think that healthy dialogue between the administration with students will clear up a lot of confusion, and students will really appreciate that.
Mark, you've been shaking your head.
Well, yes. Being a part of the kingdom of God, God sets requirements on how we should act, because He knows what's best for us. And when we obey God's commandments, though sometimes it might be against our will, something we don't necessarily want to do, God uses that to grow us. And I would say that's the reason why we have community standards on campus. Because when you abstain from alcohol and gambling and tobacco and everything outlined in the community standards, that puts you in the best place for God to grow you, not only in the community but individually with God. Thus, when you model the service that Christ, when you participate in the service that Christ modeled for us, that puts you in a better position for God to grow you because you are doing as Christ did.
Yeah. Segueing now to topics of diversity and on campus. Both of you mentioned that you don't think diversity is just about race. So the following question concerns sexual orientation as a form of diversity. In 2005, a gay rights activist group came to Biola to protest Biola's position on homosexuality. The AS president at the time, Christoph Meyer, was significantly involved in handling this situation. So the question to you, both of you, is that would you permit them to demonstrate on Biola's campus if it were up to you? Would you initiate dialogue? And specifically, how would you handle such a situation? So, Cameron, would you like to start?
Yes. I think that encouraging dialogue and encouraging conversation is essential. This is something that we're going to be faced with. We have been, and it's becoming more of a topic in Christianity as well as the world today. And I think that allowing that group to come on campus and respectfully engage in dialogue with maybe Biola professors or even students that want to ask them why they have a certain stance they do is great. I would completely stand for that. But I don't think that allowing a group to come to Biola and perform an angry protest on our campus is conducive to the type of community that Biola wants to foster here.
Mark?
Yeah, I don't think I could agree more. We want what is God's best for us. And sometimes that happens in a quarrel, but or at least a friendly quarrel. But definitely a violent protest wouldn't be very conducive to non-violent ways of pursuing God's best for us. So definitely a dialogue would be fruitful, I think, and could be fruitful, as well as even hosting a conference or seminar where students could definitely give input and feedback to such an issue and dialoguing with administration, as that is an important topic, especially in our culture today.
both of you want to serve the student body. In the past, there has been conflict over things like the Jesus mural. A seeming minority of students saw the mural as a symbol of oppression, while a seeming majority did not. How would you resolve such disagreement if it were up to you? Mark?
Very, very carefully, very carefully. Well, I will start by asking a question as to what would be grounds for taking action. If we simply had one student say, oh, I'm offended by this, that doesn't seem grounds for us to take action. We would need to discuss what kind of percentage of the student body would be conducive to taking action. Maybe half, maybe a third, maybe a majority of the students are frustrated with this, therefore we should take down the mural or something. So we'd want to first discuss what would be good grounds for taking action. Then I think we should get healthy and accurate input and to think through the situation clearly. If it's just a matter of opinion, that's something, because an offense can be very much opinionated. I can say that this room just offends me. Therefore, we should just destroy it and repaint it all white or all blue and just, but so that would be grounds again for taking action. We should think through it clearly and decide what are the facts and what would be best for the students.
Cameron?
I think that having one student offended by something is enough grounds to take action. And we need to hear every student's voice. And if a certain student is offended by the Jesus mural, we do need to hear that, and we need to make that voice heard in the sense of talking to the right people about getting the answers as to why the Jesus mural is painted that way, why it's up there. And I think that it would be conducive to have a dialogue, to talk with maybe bringing in the painter who painted that on the side there of that building and talking about what it represents. And I don't think that we need to have a majority of people offended by it to revisit the idea of updating it.